I'm Coach Thomas Scott, and if you're listening or watching this podcast, it means one thing. You want to learn how to get buckets from the best in the world. This is the Hoopers Podcast. This is Buckets and Breakdowns.
Coach Thomas Scott here. We're here with Buckets and Breakdowns, presented to you by Ballislife. I'm here with the slam dunk champion, 3-time slam dunk champion, heart over height, your fan favorite, Mr. Nate Robinson.
What's good, bro? First episode, hey, it's an honor. I really appreciate that. That's free fire, bro.
Man, I appreciate you coming down.
Anytime.
It means a lot to me. I got a lot of questions. First off, I want to start out by how old were you when you realized you were getting buckets?
Man, I was getting buckets at a young age, man. My first sport I played I ran track, so I was always fast. I was quick. My dad always had me doing something, running, jumping, catching. So for me, when he gave me a basketball, I was already playing football and I was running track. When I got the basketball, it was just like, my dad was like, put the ball in the basket. That's the name of the game. So he taught me that early. And once I got on the court, he was like, if you steal the ball from the cat that's dribbling, you don't got to pass it to nobody. So I was like, once I understood that, I was like, all right, cool. So I just know that ball's mine. I'm trying to score. So once I figured that out, it just made the game easier. And then, as time goes on, you learn the game, you learn teammates, you learn spacing, and, you learn, 2 or 3 guys guarding, you pass it and kick it and try to figure it out. But other than that, it came, buckets came early and it came often. And that was something that I just was attracted to, is getting buckets.
For sure. I mean, that's why we love you. You always played hard. But I also want to talk about, that foundation, where that came from. Because, Seattle, as we know, it's a lot of hoopers out of there, man. Everybody that came through Seattle, in my opinion, got buckets. Brandon Roy, Jamal Crawford, who's your high school teammate.
Facts.
I want to talk to you about, because I know those practices were crazy.
Oh, man, yeah. I got good stories on Jamal.
Before practice, I know after practice, the ones were going crazy.
Yeah.
So, let's just start there. Rainier Beach High School, man. So a lot of players came through there. Let's talk about Jamal Crawford, man. When you guys played together in high school, what was that like?
Well, I saw Jamal his junior year. I was in 8th grade. And I used to go to the games. I live right, in the neighborhood. And I would, go to the games. I was like the ball boy, you know what I'm saying? I started off early, young. And I used to see him play and do and1 mixtape, crazy handles, dimes, no look, dribble backwards between the legs, turn around, shoot, not look. I was like, man, I'm going to this school. I want to play with him. I want to hoop with him. So when I attended Rainier Beach my freshman year, man, I tried to soak up all the game, and Jamal laid the foundation down. He was the pinnacle. He was the guy that everybody wanted to be like, and everybody came to see. Right. So I was like, shit, he doing something right. So let me figure out what that is. And every day in practice, as my freshman year, I guarded him every day, full court, and I got on his nerves. Fouling him, holding him, tripping him, and I studied his game, and I just watched him, and I just watched how cool he was dribbling and doing moves, and he played fearless. He didn't care. And I was like, man, that has to feel unbelievable to step on the court and knowing that you're unstoppable, nobody can stop you, you can do whatever you want. And I just wanted that feeling. And, going to beach, Coach Mike, all he asked was guys to come in, play hard, and, give it your all. And, Maul was the show. And to be a part of the show, and, you kind of pick up tendencies and some of the things that he do, and you watch and you study and you learn. And I just wanted to soak up all the game I could from him. And I did that my freshman year, and then I haven't looked back ever since.
Man, I feel that, man. And, I remember that era. I wish we had social media back then.
Man, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy.
We would hear a lot about it. You went up against some guys in my neighborhood and where I'm from, Inglewood, California. You had some big games against Inglewood High School.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Collins, all those guys back in the day. But I want to talk about also with Rainier Beach, what you guys put together there. It seemed like it was a lot of hoopers that followed y'all. Do you feel like you guys laid the foundation for a lot more guys that got buckets out of Seattle? Who came after you?
So before me and Maul, it was Doug Christie. Doug Christie came to Rainier Beach, won the state championship. He was the one that started the whole thing. He started the state championship, the whole movement in 89, 90. He won the state championship. Then Maul won a state championship. Everybody started winning the state championship their senior years. Like Maul won one, and I won one. Then they had Terrence Williams won 3. He won like Terrence Williams won 2, 3. Then you had after that you had DeJounte Murray won 3. Kevin Porter won 3. Like it just kept guys just kept winning, and then our program just started taking off. And we was always the school, us and Garfield, where Brandon Roy went to high school, Jason Terry went to Franklin, or Aaron Brooks. Like those guys won state championship as well. So everybody were every different year it was somebody else winning the state championship at some point, and the game just elevated in Washington, man. Like in Seattle, we just really everybody started taking notice, and we was on the map. And then we started going to AAU, and people started seeing the guys coming from Seattle, and I don't know. It's just now people open their eyes. You got guys like Zach LaVine, you got Isaiah Thomas from Washington, Rodney Stuckey, so many different guys, Aaron Brooks, and so many different bucket getters that just hooped and loved the game. And it just everybody started opening their eyes and start seeing what we had started to accomplish.
So look, man, we come from the park era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We come from the park era. You go to the park, you gain your respect. What park were you playing at in Seattle? And you named all these guys. How many of these guys was coming in there? Or, how did you get your name at the park?
Man, it was I had a lot of me and my homies. In Seattle, it rained a lot, so we would go to a park in the summertime, but mostly during the year, it rained so much we was in the gym. So we would go
in the gym.
Yeah, so we were in the gym. We were in the gym.
Us too. I was in the gym. Like Park, we was
so ours is ours is called South Shore. South Shore was like the main gym where everybody started, where they game. Rainier Community Center. We went to Green Lake. Green Lake is an outdoor court and indoor where guys would go hoop or go inside. After that, would go outside. Like we would just go back and forth. But guys would come in guys like Jerry Payton, Sean Kemp will come to the runs and hoop with us, and we'll hoop with them.
Real?
Yeah, it was like real, like Michael Dickerson. I mean,
he was tough.
He was one of the hardest to guard. He was a monster. He made it to the league. He was from Seattle too, and it was just so many different guys would come pull up, and you'll come in the gym and it's buku of guys hooping, and it's like, oh man, we're here all night too. Like we'll start now 9 and 12, 1 in the morning, and straight hoop, and then we'll one-on-ones, and guys will do ones. We'll be dunking, and we'll just try, and it became a thing every weekend, every Friday, Saturday night. We called it a late night program. It was called late night, and we would go to late night after high school games. We're going straight to late night. Friday nights, still hoop some more. So after varsity games, we'll get done playing. We're going to late night. And then, at late night, the community center, they'll feed us. They have food. You know what I'm saying? You can play video games. You'll play, pool, ping pong, and all the fun stuff at the community centers. And at night, they would have a bus, like a metro bus or whatever. They'll take everybody home and drop you off in front of your house. Make sure, no excuse. So my mom was like, and that was perfect. She worked 3-4 jobs. It was like, I know where my kids are at. They're at, late night program. And they know we out there in the gym. They were safe. I'm staying away from all the riffraff, and we just hooped.
Man, so I know there were a lot of things that you had to figure out with your size, but you had the athleticism, the quickness. So I say that to say, what was like your first go-to move you had to figure out?
For me, it was just, how do I get my shot off against taller guys? Because I was quick enough to get by them. It was like my dad just was like, bro, we got to get you a jump shot, and you got to figure out how to get to your shot from point A to point B, and you're going to be a smaller guy. So my dad, he taught me the jump shot, not the set shot or push shot. Like countless hours was just focusing on my jump shot. And once I mastered it and just over practice, over time, I think my sophomore year is when I started to really develop a jump shot and really could score at will. And once I got that, I was like, man, I'm already dunking. I'm already athletic. I'm like, man, I get a jump shot. It just completes my game. And I just worked on that on my craft with just, working on fadeaways and guys like Iverson. I just captivated and I just gravitated to him in his game because he was a little guy and he can get a shot off against anybody. And I was like, damn, I got to learn that.
Right.
And I would just take bits and pieces from him and Steve Francis and, like you said, Jamal. I seen Jamal Crawford every day, and then I worked out with him in the summer, and I would just, picking these guys' brains, and then, guys in the hood, we would play against each other, and there's so many guys in the hood that didn't make it, but they were hella good. Right, you know what I'm saying? They would come in and they would be balling on weekends and playing against us, you know, and they was like, man, I didn't make it because I'm in the streets, but you know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure that, you know what I'm saying, that we're gonna make sure you don't follow this route. You go here. And then, you know, they would come and teach us the game and, you know, tell certain areas to stay away from. And, you know, they led us down the right path, man. They're keeping us out, you know, out the riffraff. You know, it's like, man, you got a chance. You know, I never had a chance. So they really put us on game.
That's what's up, man. So, you know, you mentioned Allen Iverson, Steve Francis. Like, those are guys, even me, like, I had the cornrows. I know you had the cornrows.
Facts. I had the sleeve like Iverson.
They wouldn't let us wear the sleeve at my school.
But mine was a sock. Low key. I took a long sock. I used to wear like Jason Terry, because, you know, back in the day we used to always be like, you know, the older guys. Jason Terry used to wear high socks.
Right.
So I remember the high socks I used to have, and I cut a hole in them and I put it on my arm and I taped it like football. I taped it on my arm. And I had a little stinky little sock. I thought I was Iverson. Yep. And then one of my homies in high school, one of my homies' grandma was sewing and she could make stuff. And I showed her a picture of Iverson's sleeve and I was like, can you make me one of these? And she made me like 3, 4 of them. She made me a white, orange, blue, and like a mixture of one, and a black one. She made me a black one, and I had it, and I brought that to high school, and I wore it in the game, and people was like, oh, where'd you get the sleeve from? They're asking. I'm like, man, I was like, man, Grandma Jackson made it for me. So she made it, and I felt like I was on top of the world. I swear, I was like, man, I wore the wristband on the elbow like Iverson, had the cornrows. You couldn't tell me nothing. The only thing different, I just wore number 2. 2 was my favorite number, and you know he was 3, so 2 was like my number because of Deion Sanders. I love Primetime. Primetime was my guy. Yeah.
Oh man, so what would you say you stole, right? Like as hoopers, we watching NBA on NBC, whatever. Like you seen somebody do something and it was like, oh, I gotta put that in my bag.
Man, for sure, Jamal, I stole so many moves from Jamal just watching his game, because when you be around him so much, like you stand to try to do like some of the moves that he do, he has so much handles. And like Maul used to always, every time we move, hesitate. Like I just love, like something about Seattle we do is hesitation. Everybody in our game, they got the hezi. They got a little direction or a hesitation type dribble. And I fell in love with the hezi because when you can shoot, the hezi works the best. So I was like, man, I get a jump shot, hezi, then I can get to the basket and start dunking on people. So that's what that was my thing, to get the hezi, to get him jump so I can go to the lane and start leaning. So I added that to my game, and then just learning how to move without the ball, crossing over like Iverson, you know, dunking on people like Steve Francis, Baron Davis, his little hesitation, you know, behind the back, beaties, so many different guys, man. Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying, working on the behind the backs and hezzies and crossovers and hop steps. Like, I was trying to do everything that all these guys were doing. And then you see guys like Baron Davis do the fake behind the back to himself. Like, you start, I'm gonna add that to my game. You know, you start picking up tendencies and taking bits and pieces and adding them to your, you know, your basketball belt. And I just was trying to add it to my bag.
That makes Nate Robinson.
Yeah, and I just try to add to my bag, and then whatever my creativity is, I try to bring it out when I played. And I just played with passion and love, and I just like to have fun. And then if I was like, man, if I'm having fun, I'm doing stuff, I'm gonna try some, you know, off the glass, throw it between somebody's legs. Like, I just went with the feeling. And half the time it worked. You know, sometimes it didn't work, but I was like, all right, that didn't work, I'm trying it again. And just keep trying until I perfect it. And a lot of things I try to perfect, and my game was, you know, what it was. I just had fun.
Man, and since you say having fun, right? Like, I think that's why we love you. You're a fan favorite, you know what I mean? Because you play with that passion. Even though this show was called Buckets and Breakdowns, you played defense, you got up into people, you were a pest, and then you were still able to create on the offensive end. So I'm going to stick in Seattle real quick because the summer pro runs, I mean, they're legendary. In LA, we got the Drew League.
Yeah, man, I couldn't wait to play in the Drew when I got out there, bro. That was lit. It was like, you know, playing at Rucker Park. You know, when you get to the league, you want to play and showcase your game for everybody to see, because not too many people can watch you play when you're somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Tickets ain't cheap.
Yeah, facts. So when you come to those end, they come and show real love. You get the loving from the hood and from the people that don't get to really watch you play. So.
And that's what I like, man. So like a guy like you, when you come to the Drew or Jamal Crawford's runs or the Seattle Pro-Am and stuff like that, like, it's like, you know, like, okay, these are my people. I know they can't get to Chicago.
So you gotta give them a show.
Yeah, I gotta put on a show. And man, you did some stuff in the Seattle Pro Run that was so crazy, man. Like, we're gonna have to get on the court and actually break it down. Like, what makes you feel so free, and how important is just feeling free and being yourself in the game within the lines?
Man, honestly, man, just trying something that nobody will ever try, bro, and not being afraid to fail when you do it, and trying it over and over again until you get it. Because when you finally succeed in doing something, when you try over and over, it's just a great feeling, when you accomplish something, you know what I'm saying, over time. But for me, when I step between the lines, man, I'm like, man, I want to leave, the people watching, the fans, like, wow, like that was like magical. Like, how'd you do that? Like it's magic. Like I'm, like I'm doing magic. So for me, I just want to leave them happy. I want to leave them like in awe, like kids and parents, like, wow, who's that little guy? I want them to, we gotta go watch him play, go look him up, or you know what I'm saying? I want them to always come back for more to play basketball so they can, oh man, I want to do that like him. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that, when I step between the lines, I just lose myself within the game. And then I just have fun. I just want to try things that I've been doing this move, practicing it. Let me try it in the game and see if it works.
That's the key right there. Like when I see, you do some of the things that you do, as a player development guy and a baller, coach, whatever, I know that there's a lot of repetition that's going on.
You got to try before. You can't just go in the game and try something you never practiced before.
And so I appreciate, because that's like, yo, this dude is in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, he's working. Like, he's spending more time after practice, before practice, mastered the fundamentals. Okay, now I can get into this move right here, right, where I can hezzy a certain way, snatch, spin, do all these little things that you've been doing throughout your career because you a gym rat.
Yeah.
Right?
So Jamal Crawford told me something I'll never forget when I was young. And he was like, bro, you don't need a gym to practice your handles and your game. You can dribble and practice your move without a ball, just in your mind, just by yourself, just practicing moves over and over. And you just see it and you see it and you see it. You know what I'm saying? You see it and you see it over and over. It'll become first, second nature. And, somebody come by, you just cross them.
Not in the hallway.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even, cross their heads. Like, if you practice your moves,
you roll through.
Man, I'm telling you, man, you can practice your moves in your mind, bro, and then you bring it to real life on the practice court in the game. And then when you get that ball, it's like, man, I didn't see this move in my mind so many times. Let me try it. And you do it and you do it, and then somebody's in front of you, then you actually do it, and you get somebody with a move. It's like, man, that worked. That was pretty cool. And then you're like, you want more. So you'll keep staying in the gym. I'm a gym rat. So I just practice and just try. I just try different things, different moves, different shots, left hand, right hand, whatever. So when I'm in the game, it's not foreign. That's why when you see guys like Kyrie Irving doing unbelievable stuff, like you can tell he practices everything he does.
For sure.
Every time he goes to the basket, Euro step, he flicks it off the, you can tell he shoots shots and just plays around off the backboard and shoots left, right hand. You can tell he puts work in.
For sure.
For
sure. So, I mean, you spent some time with the Knicks, Bulls, Nuggets, Warriors. I miss somebody.
Man, I play everybody, man.
But like, where do you think you were most well received as far as from the fans, like home games, right? Like, I love seeing you in New York, I used to play 2K back in the day. I called it Dominate. You were the cheat code. Start you at the point guard. You going through splitting screens. And you
dunk it, man. Man, when I see myself in a video game, I was going like, this is not real, bro. Like, kid, you playing NBA Live and all the games, and then you're actually in 2K now. It's like, it's crazy. But
so even when you talk about the sleeve earlier, you hit the game winner on Allen Iverson. Like, how was that, man? Like, how did that feel?
Honestly, man, just that day, I couldn't sleep that whole day, like the day before, that night. I couldn't sleep because I was so excited. Like when they was like, oh yeah, you're playing Iverson tomorrow, I was like, I went straight to the gym. I went back to watching all his moves. I'm like, bro, I know all these moves. Like I was like, there's no way he's coming in and giving us buckets. He gave us like 47. And I was like, damn, I got to see it for firsthand in real life. Like over time, watching it on TV, seeing it on highlights, I'm like, and then seeing it in person for myself, I was like, bro, all right, this is a real deal, bro. Like seeing it in person was like one thing, you know what I'm saying? Like TV one thing, but seeing it in person, it's like another. And I was like, I was in all of it. I was just like, man, I can't wait. And I'm checking the challenge. I'm picking my full court, bumping. I'm like, man, I wanted him to understand and respect the fact that, I love this game, but I'm here to kill you too. I'm here to. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Yeah, facts. Like it is what it is. Like, but I'm a fan. But right now, man, I've been hungry. I've been waiting for this opportunity, to show you what I got, because I know what you got. You don't know what I got yet, so I want that same respect.
You had that advantage, basically.
Yeah, to study him. He don't know anything really about my game like that. Like he probably know of me just by playing and being in the league, but and then in warm-ups, he was like, "What's up, little Nate?" Dapped me up. I was like, as a kid, I could have melted. I could have melted, just be like, oh, I could have died right there. Like,
You had to play it off.
I couldn't. What's up, bro? Like, trying to keep it cool, but I was like, oh my God, he touched my Iverson. He got me up. I was tripping out. I bugged out, bro. So, in the game, I called my mom and my dad. I was like, bro, I get to play against Iverson today. Like, the game, go to shoot around, come home. I was so hyped.
Fire.
And when I'm in the game, game goes on, first quarter, he got 24 points. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm looking at Marbury like, dog, you ain't gonna stop him? I'm like, hey, you ain't gonna stop AI, bro? All right, Bubba Chuck going crazy. So coach goes, Nate, you in. You go get Marbury. You got Iverson. And all my teammates looked at me and was like, good luck. They hit me with the good luck. I was like, I'm out here. I can't wait. Rip my pants off. I'm going in. I'm out here. And who would have just knew I was gonna hit a game winner over him was you couldn't draw that up in a movie. You can just write that up like that. And, when the opportunity came, I had like 16 that game, but to hit that one shot, it changed everything for me, man. I was so excited. Like when I made the shot, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to run. I was so happy, bro. And then my little goofy butt after the game, I ran in the other locker room, the division locker room, and asked him for a sleeve. I was like, bro, I was like, I don't even, and I was like, it's like, you just hit a game winner over somebody. How you go ask him for the sleeve?
Right away.
Right away, bro. Let me get that, bro. Like, I'm like, literally, when I say one of your biggest fans, for real, one of your biggest fans, I need that sleeve. Like, and he took it off and gave it to me. I was like, oh, I got it. Like, every so many kids want this sleeve in the world, and I had it. And I got my own Allen Iverson sleeve, and I wore. And after that, I wore it every game. You see in the Knicks, I wore that every game,
really?
every single game. I wore it. No, I wore that. I was like, it's magic in this. Like, he gave me this, I'm wearing it. I wore that for the longest, and then I have it at home. But I'm like, yeah, man, I'm rocking this.
That's so fire.
All season, I was rocking that for the longest, bro. For the longest.
So obviously at the game winner, I'm gonna transition to whole lap, right? I got on the shorts right now.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? This is my man Nate Robinson's brand, whole lap. He got the Bulls colors, so I want to talk about where whole lap came from, the name, that whole motto right there.
Joakim Noah started it all, man. He kept yelling, hold that, every time I was on the Bulls in practice, every time he would make a shot. And I was like, what is that? He was like, yeah, hold that, man. Give you this bucket. And I was like, that's genius. I'm like, yeah, that is right. Yeah, hold it. I got you. So every time we would shoot, during practice or in the games, we're Bulls, we're all yelling, hold that. And I was like, and in my head, I was like, dang, how would you spell that? And I just thought that's how it was spelled. Like, instead of spelling hold that, it's like one word.
Hold that.
Hold that. It's like, hold that.
It's funny because Bulls, when he was with the Lakers and I was, assistant coach there, he would do it after
but look, on TV, you can hear it loud. The microphones are under the basket.
Right.
And every time somebody Bulls like, hold that. Like, just whole ass like bustle. We just ran with the whole movement. And I was like, Joe Kim, I'm about to use that as like a brand. We gotta make t-shirts or something. And then it took over a couple years of just, designing different things and coming up with. I was like, man, I'm gonna just make shorts like the Bulls and different teams that I played on it with the whole that and just try to bring it to life. And then I found somebody to sketch the whole that logo itself on the side. Yeah, and then it's I got it. Look, I got it tatted on me, so it's on me forever. It's part of me forever. But yeah, man, it just came from Joakim Noah. Blessing us with one of the coolest words in the world when you're playing basketball. And it's like, and then it keeps you from cussing so much on the court. People like, yeah, whole lot. It's like, the ultimate, respect my game, but I'm disrespecting you by hitting the bucket in your face. It's like, yeah, hold that. Yeah, hold these buckets.
So, we share ties with the big three, you know what I mean? And you had one of the best game winners, right?
Well, Big Baby.
In Miami, right? Your boy Big Baby from the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
Like, man, that game was so crazy to me because I'm sitting right under the basket, right? Just break that whole down, how that happened, because I'm like, oh, there's no way that's going in. And I'm sitting in the perfect angle and I can see, oh, he's about to go glass.
Yeah, so that day, we came back. We were down like 6 towards down the stretch. Big three, you go to 50 is the game. And we're coming back, and at the end of the game, first, for me, it was a big moment because my daughter got actually opportunity to really watch me in my element and play the game that I love. When I was in the league, she was very, very young, so she really doesn't remember. And that was the day where she came with me on that trip, and she got to sit courtside. And I was like, man, like, I want to have a good game. I'm out there, like, make sure she's dabbing them, like, we're hooping. Like, I want her to see me in my element. So it was a big three that day, and the game hit the game winner in front of my daughter so she could see, the 20,000 people that was in the stands and everybody. Like, it was a crazy atmosphere. So to that move, I was dribbling and, Big Baby, he takes a challenge. Like, Big Baby's like, I'm gonna sit down, you know what I'm saying? Like, he goes for the ball and the ball hits my leg. He tried to get it and I, picked the ball up and I ran and I seen that he was running toward me. I was like, man, just stop and pull up. Because, like, coach always say big guys don't got brakes. They're like trains with no brakes. So I was like, you know what, man? I just put up 3 for the game. And I was like, man, we needed 3 points to win it. I was like, man, let me just pull up. Right. And when I pulled up, Big Baby ran into me. And when I shot it, he caught me.
Right.
And, Big Baby's strong. Yeah. And I was like, man, he could have just tackled me, but he picked me up and held me up. Crazy. And I made it. And it was like, it was lit. It was pretty cool, man. And for guys like, D Wade and different NBA players say that's one of the coolest game winners they've ever seen in basketball history. Was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I was there,
it's pretty
man.
sweet.
It was electric. It was crazy. The build up, the game point of Big
yeah, that
was crazy.
It's always fun.
And so, like, when you did that, man, I was just like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this even happened, right? Because even the night before, we went and got Whataburger.
Yeah, Whataburger. Got some little apple pies.
Yeah. Next day, you hit
that was lit.
So, all right, I'm gonna do a quick questions real quick. You just let me know.
Yeah.
So, being as this is buckets and breakdowns, we're gonna talk about a couple buckets, ways to get buckets, and you tell me which ones you prefer.
Yep.
All right. Side step or step back?
I'm a step back guy.
Okay.
Side steps for James Harden, and that's just kind of his move. So
okay.
I try to do the old school, step back, get the separation.
Okay, so the tween snatch or the Allen Iverson crossover?
That's difficult because AI is so tough with the crossover, but for me and my moves, I'll definitely go with the snatch.
Okay. 2 of the most iconic go-to moves of all time: sky hook or fadeaway?
Fadeaway MJ all day.
Like easy?
Yeah, easy. It wasn't even for me. I mean, I'm not jump hooking nothing at 5'9". I jump hook. I wouldn't even touch the rim. I also sky hook over the backboard. So I definitely gotta go with the fadeaway. I can do fadeaway.
So even you, right? You can get up, you can dunk, right? But sometimes you're just not gonna get above the rim, right? Euro step or floater?
Floater. I mean, for me, because sometimes I travel with the Euro step, man, because some guys don't always react from the Euro step, so it makes you kind of travel if you don't get the move. It's like, you messed me up. So for me, I'm definitely with the floater. Floaters is just a easier, you know what I'm saying? It's not too much work. It's just, it's just touch. Okay. It's just touch.
Last question. What was your favorite play that was called for you?
In a game?
Yeah, like any play, like if they call this play, I'm about to score.
Oh man, when I was in the Bulls, we used to call this play. It was called point. Mm-hmm. And point was you hit the elbow, and then I get to go to the corner. I get to either go to the corner and set a screen and come off for a shot, and I get to choose which way I want to go. And Ray Allen used to run it a lot too. He's a point. It's called point, but you hit and come up, and it's your shot to shoot every time. So I was like, point. I was trying to call point every time. Hey, coach.
That's why they had you at the 2 sometimes.
Point. Please call point right now, because I know it's my turn to shoot every time. Yeah. Heck yeah.
So yeah, man, I appreciate we got to move on to the court, man.
Let's go.
Let's
get it.
Some of these buckets, man.
Let's get it, man.
All right, so we're gonna talk about what you talked about, the hezzy move. Something Seattle players, bucket getters know well and know how to use effectively.
You're in Seattle, you don't got a hezzy. You might not be from Seattle.
I'm gonna say the same thing in LA. Like,
you might not be from the West Coast, right?
Maybe it's West Coast. That's what
you might not be from the West Coast if you don't got hezzy to your game.
So man, let's break that down, bro. You had an amazing hezzy on Chris Humphries. I mean, one of the coldest in the game. I say the one you had and Steve Francis, that was a whole nother island situation. But let's break down the hezzy, man. Like,
well, whenever you can get the opportunity to get a switch, a guard on the big, that's when the hezzy is gonna work, because big man would like to do what? Block shots.
Sure.
So it only makes sense to get them with the moves. Like those are the people that you try to get all your moves with to get it to see if it works on them. So when you get the switch,
I'm the big.
you
I'm
get the
so
switch.
big.
I always set up my move, and I always just use the hezzy within my dribble. So I may come between the legs, and I may just do this. If I see your hands go up a little bit, I know I got you. I know I can get you with the hezzy, because I know that you're gonna honor my shot.
Right.
So once I get them off, I just try to rock them with a move first, and I just try to set myself to act like I'm about to shoot. And the way to get the hezzy to work is you gotta almost damn near double dribble. Like you want to get your hand as close as you can to the ball, and then you sail the hezzy with your legs and your eyes, your head movement. So when you come off and you do a move, no matter you go between the legs and behind the back, when you set yourself here, he's gonna jump, and then when you jump, you just throw the ball and you just go towards the ball and you go finish either a layup or a jump shot or whatever. And when I got Chris Humphries on the switch, I knew it off the rip, and I just came by. I wanted to get him with a move. I wanted to rock him side to side to get him off balance. And then when I get to my move, he gonna jump, and then I just go finish the move. And it works a lot of the time with the big. I done seen Kyrie Irving do it a couple times where he gets the big, and the big almost jumps and almost don't want to hit him, like don't want to foul, because the move works so well because they believe that they're gonna shoot that shot. And especially when you got a guy that shoots high volume shots like Curry, Dame, these guys that put up shots. You got Young, all these guys, they got the hezzy in their game because one, you gotta respect the jumper. They're gonna if you don't go for the hezzy, I'm gonna shoot it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So either I'm gonna shoot it and make it, or you gonna go for the move. Which one you want?
Right.
It's either or. So whenever you get an opportunity to use your hezzy in the dribble, just try it and just see what they do. A couple times when I played against when I had 41 against the Hawks, I had Marvin Williams on the side. I got the switch on Marvin, and I just did one little move, and I seen that I got him, and then I did it again, and he jumped, and I just went with the right, and I used the so I hezzy, it came back in with the same hand. So instead of with the left, I did it with the right, and I just went to the basket, shot the underhand floater and one. So it works. You just got to get the bigs. The bigs are the ones that bite on it the most because they want to block your shot. They always want to block the little guy. So whenever you get the guard and you get the big switch, it's like, clear it out. No, I don't want no screen. It's like, you get to that movement, and you use that hezzy to your advantage.
Hey, and it's almost like you send a signal, like, I'm quick. Like,
yeah, but see, that's so it's like a flinch. It's a little feint. We call them feints.
Like, oh shit.
So here, like, you gotta respect that. If you don't respect it, I'm gonna shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Like Curry hesitate almost all the time with the movement he do. He get by, and just look, cause he do one little movement like he want to shoot. It's going up. It's a bucket. You don't get out on Curry, it's a bucket. So you gotta respect it. So you gotta get a jump shot. You gotta have a jump shot to have the hesitation to work. You get a jump shot.
You brought up Curry.
Yep.
You're playing with the Warriors. You hit a move on my man Reggie Jackson. He my guy, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, the behind the back.
But we gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's walk me through it. You did a reverse snatch, right?
So the move is I came back down and I tried to just go by.
Right.
And when I went by, he didn't bite the first one, so I hesitated and I went, and then I just snatched and I stopped. And when my moment, he's trying to beat me to the spot. And so you gotta put on the brakes. When I put on the brakes, I seen that he failed, and you just pull up.
So when you make a move like that, obviously you're hearing the oohs and ahs. Like, how focused are you? Like,
you gotta make the shot.
You gotta make the
like,
shot.
you can't focus on the oohs and ahs, because like there's been times where you make somebody fall and you kind of like giggle and laugh and it messes you up. So you gotta kind of focus and not look down. You gotta just look at it's only a couple guys like James Harden. James Harden makes somebody fall, and so he's just looking at him, which is like crazy disrespectful. But it's funny, but it's like, and then you gotta finish it. It like the move is nothing. Like, it don't even matter if you made him fall and you don't make it. It doesn't matter. Like, it erases everything. But if you hit him with a move and he fall and you make it, it's sweet. And you do your little thing, show the crowd like, I'm out here.
You never hear from like showing the crowd. You seen that?
I mean, look, I don't play that much. So y'all see that, right? I gotta let the crowd know. Like, I know y'all saw that like I did, right? But yeah, so the movement is just, when you get guys going, my dad used to always tell me, just sometimes the first time, just try to go by him. And in the game, I went by him a couple times, and I went and made a play, made a layup, or threw a nice pass. And then that time I just went, and I stopped, and then I went again, and then I just stopped again, and then you're thinking I'm gonna go by you, especially hard right driver. Like you've been a driver going right to your dominant hand, people are trying to cut that off. So you just stop with the brakes, they keep going, and you just pull up.
I tell you, all my weight is on my left leg.
And you're gonna, but look, and then if your shoes are too squeaky or slippery or whatever, you'll just fall over. Like there's been time I got crossed before.
Oh, me too.
I got crossed Steve Blake. Steve Blake got me one time coming off the screen, and I'm trying to hustle, fight over the screen, and he was
like, oh.
And I just, yeah, all you can do is contest.
Right?
Can get up and contest, get up as fast as you can so nobody act like you've seen it. But it happens. Yep. It happens all the time, bro.
Facts. Well, look, man, I appreciate you coming out here on this court, on the buckets and breakdowns. We got Nate Robinson, man, you know, the fan favorite. He's a real life, my life park player. Before we leave, I need your favorite park move. We talked about one downhill. Just a quick before we get out of here. Something for the park, for the streets.
So in transition, I always love to attack the person. So if I'm here and you're backpedaling, it's just like in football. Like if the quarterback sees that the person's still backpedaling, I'm at my full speed, throw the ball right now. Because you know, so it's the same way in basketball. So one of my favorite moves that I like to do, and especially in transition, and when most guys in transition, they're flat-footed and they're trying to stop the ball.
I'll be that guy.
So when I'm dribbling down, I'm trying to figure out, I want to get you off balance and get you to a move thinking that I'm going one way and I'm really going the opposite way.
Okay.
So in this move, I don't got a name for it, but it's one of my favorite moves.
Y'all give it a name.
So, so I'm getting them off balance and I'm stepping here. Once I step back this way, I'm bringing my right leg across Thomas's face or across the defender's face. So I want to come here, I want to in and out, and I want to step this way and throw the ball and go the same way that I came. And the move is crazy because typically they're gonna think that you're going this way, and when I go here, I'm gonna just go by you as you're moving forward.
Okay.
But the move is just like what is that? A cross. It's like a triple threat, but over the top. So it's like over the top, but over the top, I'm using my right hand I'm bringing my left hand step through, and my right hand is dropping the ball in front of me, and I'm still getting past the defender.
So just go ahead and do it.
So my move looks like, so I'm going here, I will step, and I would just throw the ball here. And the defender, typically they would just, when they see that move, they're gonna be like, what? And they're gonna try to jump this way, and you're just gonna go right by him.
So when I see you do this move, it reminds me of Sidney Dean, just kind of your fit, white man can't. And I don't know if you stole it from that or where it came from, but when you do it fluently, we gotta find, this is in the pro-am, we gotta get that clip.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I'm here with my boy, man. This is my boy, Nate. Buckets and Breakdown, episode 1. And it's a wrap.
Let's go.